My name is Lumiel, and welcome back to the Bloodborne Lorethrough, where we play through Bloodborne and discuss the lore as it's presented chronologically in the game, as it's revealed through the environment, through notes, through dialogue, and the rare cutscenes. And we try to piece together the lore as it's presented, not as we've learned online or watched videos, and we just take it in real time as we play. So in the last episode, we made it through the aqueduct that ran underneath Central Yharnam, leading towards the Cathedral Ward. But before we get to the Cathedral Ward, we're about to face a boss. And so let's head in there. I will say, unlike a lot of people you've maybe watched play, though I have played a lot of Bloodborne, I am not an expert. So I very well may die. If I do die, I will show you the quick run back to this boss, and we'll try again. So as we're about to head in, I do have oil urns loaded up, ready to go, as well as Molotov cocktails, and then the music box that was given to us from the little girl in case we found her mother out there looking for her father. Her father, the hunter, who lost sight of who he was, and the music box is a reminder to him. So, let's head in.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later. We're having a shootout. Sorry if I forget to talk while we're playing. Alright, enough of the trying to stun him with the gun. Let's get him up here. Let's try to use the oil urn. You gotta be careful because he moves so fast it's easy to miss him. Like that, I just missed. And just missed again, so we'll just go ahead and use the Molotov without the oil urn. And missed that too, so there we go. What's that smell?
Alright, now back away, heal. And now I'll try to stun him again.
It's enough to make a man sick.
And he's trying that on me. It's tough though. He is a tough boss, so there you see I died. So the run back is not as bad as you may think. Because we opened up the elevator shortcut, because we the worst part is I used up those oil urns, but we opened up the elevator and so many enemies you can just run past. So I'll say screw it. I will head out from here rather than the lamp I was intending to. This just adds a couple more seconds, so we'll just run out and up the ladder and through the door that we opened up. Wow, I am getting all turned around. Okay. This will put us at the lamp right by Gilbert's door. Through the gate that we opened. Past the house, not through the house. Down past the brutes. And we may or may not have the elevator where we want it, but that's okay because they don't really go into this opening. So we'll just pull the elevator and see they just stood there and watched. So you may remember the elevator takes us to the bridge over the aqueduct leading to the boss arena. Now, the only thing between us and the boss is the bridge, the 5 guys, the giant flaming ball that we have to run past, past the guy holding the torch and the shield, and onward past a couple more beast guys into the boss arena. So we have all these guys, and this guy's going to set flame to this. We'll run right past that. There's the 2 beast guys I mentioned, but we'll just keep moving into the boss arena. So even though I had to run back, that wasn't bad. And it's good to know these shortcuts, because that's what so many people find difficult about FromSoft games, is the run back, but they're usually not actually that bad. Alright, let's go up here. Come on. That punk. Alright. I was getting spammy with my hits. He could have stunned me. He's good at dodging the Molotovs. See? I just barely survived that. I need to quit being so, what do you call it? Not lazy. Sloppy. I don't know where he went, but I'll meet him back up here. Or I'll try to. Thanks, camera. So now we have the music box, which, there we go. And that's the boss. He's fast. He has a lot of maneuverability. He can stun you if you actually are just spamming attacks and he shoots you at the right time. But just keep making space, healing. A lot of people complain that the tombstones get in their way, but the thing is, it gets in his way too. So if he's coming at you, put them between you and it'll give you a moment to heal. Use your Molotovs. Try to use them better than I did. Use your music box, because that music box, I could have used it, I think, 2 more times, so up to 3. That's why he grabbed his head and was stunned for a moment, is because I played the music box. So that's the tune that we heard outside the little girl's house. She was playing that. And while I was fighting, you saw I fell down here and there was a body with an item on it. And it's a red jeweled brooch. As the little girl told us, her mother would be recognizable because of the red jeweled brooch. So we're not able to give her the music box. So that is her mother. And the person we just fought is her father, the hunter who lost track of himself. So the music box shows us her name is Viola, and this is her fate. She set out to bring her husband home and didn't have the music box, who reminds him of who he is. And seemingly, he maybe killed her, or maybe something else killed her, and that's what set him off, because there's a lot of blood here, and he was down here cutting open beasts when we walked through. Maybe that beast killed her, and it sent him into his mad spiral. So here's a lamp. Let's go ahead and light it, but we're not going to rest here. We'll move on. We've been all through Central Yharnam, and I do want to do another pass through. But before we do that, let's see where this takes us. We were trying to get through here to the Cathedral Ward. So we open the gate with the Oedon Tomb key. The Oedon Tomb key is the key to the gate that blocks the Tomb of Oedon. It's the key to the gate that blocks the Tomb of Oedon. Beyond the tomb, Oedon Chapel can be found in the center of the Cathedral Ward. So we know when we get to Oedon Chapel, we're in the Cathedral Ward. Only today the church is abandoned, and some say the residents of Oedon have all gone mad. So we're heading through the tomb and into the chapel of Oedon, where they say all of the residents have gone mad, if any remain. And once we arrive, we should know that we're in the Cathedral Ward. So up above that cemetery, this appears to be a library. See a treasure chest, lots of books that can be rolled through, and a note. The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably. There's a lot in here. So, Bergenworth is a new word to us, and especially the Bergenworth spider. This note is telling us that the Bergenworth spider is somehow hiding or obscuring many rituals and is somehow keeping our lost master from us. So whoever studied in this library left a note discussing their master who is lost to them and is somehow being hidden along with other rituals by a spider of Bergenworth. And this person says it is a terrible shame and it makes his head shudder uncontrollably, which is disturbing. The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals. Sorry, I just want to read that again. The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably. It's one of my favorite notes in the game, so. And in here, what do we find? The Blood Gem Workshop tool. So, we have the workshop where we can fortify our weapons, we can repair our weapons, and now we have the Blood Gem Workshop tool, which is a misplaced workshop tool from the Hunter's Dream. So this came from the Hunter's Dream. The hunter who retrieves this can fortify weapons by kneading blood gems into them. Blood gems add properties to weapons and can be used to fortify them, as blood defines an organism. So we've been able to essentially just fortify our weapons in terms of making it stronger through the just refining it. This will allow us to essentially socket in gems that add properties to the weapons. So we will see that when we return to the Hunter's Dream. Continuing on from this library and heading up, a very ornate door. Cathedral Ward. And it certainly seems to be the chapel we read about. So in the cutscene, you may have caught just down in the corner this character. We have a new lamp we can light. Similar statuary to what we've seen before. So let's talk to this character.
Oh, you must be a hunter. Very sorry. The incense must have masked your scent. Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. These hunts have everyone all locked up inside, waiting for it to end. It always does, always has, you know, since forever. But it won't end nicely, not this time. Even some folks hiding inside are going bad. The screams of women folk, the stench of blood, the snarls of beasts, none of them's too uncommon now. Yharnam's done for, tell ya. But if you spot anyone with their wits about them, tell them about this here Oedon Chapel. They'll be safe here. The incense wards off the beasts. Spread the word. Tell them to come on over, if you wouldn't mind.
So, this person tells us that people are closed up inside like they always are on this night that goes on forever. But it won't end nicely this time, and things are getting worse than they've ever been. Because even those locked up inside are going mad, becoming beasts. And we can send people here who need a safe place, because all of these lit incense things hide their scent. Now, we did have one person ask us for a safe place to go, but at that time we didn't know of a place. It was the woman in the house that had the dog outside. So if we talk to her again, perhaps we can tell her about Oedon Chapel.
I know I shouldn't be asking you, but if you happen upon someone while hunting, tell them about this here Oedon Chapel. If they seem worth being told, that is. Oh, and I do sincerely hope they are.
Definitely an odd-looking character. Odd-sounding character. Sounds as if they might be going mad themselves. They seem desperate for people to be here. But this person... Sorry, I keep saying this person. I don't know the name. I can't remember if I ever knew it. But they're saying send people here if they seem like they're worthy of being sent here. So I guess that's a determination for us. The lady we talked to just seemed upset. She didn't seem unreasonable in any way, so...
I know I shouldn't... If they seem worth... Oh, and I...
Alright. Well, Oedon Chapel. And is anything else here? There is a door, which is closed. There's another door here. And a door here. And some intense sound. From that direction. so we will continue this way. We will see where it leads, and eventually we will do a pass back through Central Yharnam, because there are a few people I'll want to talk to, including the lady that needs sent back. We'll talk to Gilbert again. We'll check in on Yosefka. And in the Hunter's Dream, we will see if German is there, talk to the doll again. And we'll find out about these guys. What are they? It's probably nice. Nope, I guess not. Did that kill him? Okay, good. Here's another one. Cloaked, hatted man holding a lamp that can be stunned like everyone else. Alright. Blood vial. They dropped nothing. There's a well. There's a path heading down there, and a path heading up here, which seemed similar to the direction that door that we decided not to take from the church headed, from the chapel headed. Both are heading that way. So we will continue this way. Collect this item, which is some blood vials. And we will head down. Seems like a safe landing, so check our view. Nice view. And then continue. Okay, there's a patrol heading that way with a dog, one heading towards that opening, one just standing at the bonfire. So, let's see whose attention we can draw. Don't see any ambushes. The dog is heading this general direction. But the dog stepped into the fire, which was not a good move, actually. So, the dog is gone. And I hear footsteps running towards me. These guys are kind of simple enough to stun lock, so I'm not bothering trying to stun them with my gun. It's a waste of bullets if not needed, when really you can just, as they're swinging, just step out of the way. Some more cold blood dew. Another Molotov cocktail set. That's kind of funny. The bonfire, nobody else here. We have a entrance to a tomb. Let's check our corners. And there you go. Don't see anyone else, so let's just deal with him. Make sure nobody snuck up. Alright. Then we have this item. Some more Madman's Knowledge. Again, which can be consumed to gain insight. Which, sorry, but I just really like the description, so I always like to point out that insight is a depth of inhuman knowledge. And as we saw on the actual Madman's Knowledge, it is the skull of a madman touched by the wisdom of the Great Ones. The Great Ones. We've not heard too much about the Great Ones other than from that item. There was nothing there other than the main tomb here in the center. Which all seems built around it. We can see an item up there. We've been off to the right, which was just an item in a corner. I'm going to remove the Molotovs and the music box and put the pebbles back in my items. Okay. So, guy up ahead. A dog. With the dogs, just step back as they're attacking. Is the way I've found easiest to deal with them. Gunmen, you just move sideways as they're shooting.
This town's finished.
And then we have the entrance, which will surely lead up to where that item was. There's a device which will have some effect. There's our madman's knowledge. And before I operate that, let's see what is off to the side here. So, there's a person praying at this altar, and above them, uniquely dressed character.
You're a beast hunter, aren't you? I knew it. That's precisely how I started out. Oh, beg pardon. You may call me Alfred.
Alfred.
Protégé of Master Logarius, hunter of vile bloods. So, what say you? Our prey might differ, but we are hunters, the both of us. Why not cooperate and discuss the things we've learned?
So before I answer, he pointed out his name is Alfred. He's a protege of Master Logarius, and that they hunt vile bloods. And he points out that I am a hunter of beasts, so our prey are separate, but we might as well cooperate. So, first we've heard of vile bloods, though it can be assumed that Logarius and him are both church hunters of some sort. He wears a very different set than what we've seen before, so let's go ahead and agree to cooperate.
Oh, very good. Very good indeed. Take this to celebrate our acquaintance.
Fire paper, thank you. And a new, I forget what they call them, but it allows us to take a stance of praying.
Beast hunting is a sacred practice. May the good blood guide your way.
May the good blood guide your way. Again, the healing church is seen as the foundational element, or the very home of the exquisite types of blood we've heard about. The blood ministration, they're very blood-centric, blood-focused. See if he has anything else to say.
There must be oodles for us to share. Go on. Just tell me what piques your interest.
So, he didn't mention it, but we did recently read the note that talked about Bergenworth, so I would like to hear a little more of that. That is, we read about the Bergenworth spider that hides all manner of rituals.
Bergenworth is an old place of learning, and the tomb of the gods, carved out below Yharnam, should be familiar to every hunter. Well, once a group of young Bergenworth scholars discovered a holy medium deep within the tomb. This led to the founding of the Healing Church and the establishment of blood healing. In this sense, everything sacred in Yharnam can be traced back to Bergenworth. But today, the college lies deep within a tangled wood, abandoned and decrepit. And furthermore, the Healing Church has declared Bergenworth forbidden ground. It's unclear how many of its scholars remain alive, but only they know the password that allows passage through the gate.
So there was a lot there. So Bergenworth is a place of learning that now lies lies deep in a hidden wood. Once the people of Bergenworth found in the tomb of the gods that lies underneath Yharnam, they found a holy medium which allowed for the creation of blood healing. So in this tomb of the gods underneath Yharnam, they found something that led to this very blood-centric, healing, blood-focused the ministration, the obsession with blood, and that they are the only ones that know the password that will open the door that leads back to Bergenworth in the deep woods. So let's just listen to it again real quick.
Bergenworth is an old place of learning, and the tomb of the gods, carved out below Yharnam, should be familiar to every hunter. Well, once a group of young Bergenworth scholars discovered a holy medium deep within the tomb. This led to the founding of the Healing Church and the establishment of blood healing. In this sense,
Bergenworth led to the foundation of the Healing Church.
To Bergenworth.
Everything can be traced back to there.
The college lies deep within a tangled wood, abandoned and decrepit. And furthermore, the Healing Church has declared Bergenworth forbidden ground.
So,
it's unclear how
the church exists because of Bergenworth.
Alive, but only they know the password that allows passage through the gate.
The church exists because of Bergenworth and what they discovered, but for some reason the church has declared the college itself forbidden ground. And we don't know how many exist there still, but only they know the password that leads back to Bergenworth. And we know that the Bergenworth spider is somehow obscuring rituals that people in that library hold value to, but more than anything, the spider is somehow keeping their master from them. Their lost master, as they describe them. So there's a whole lot of lore in that one dialogue. Alfred has been very valuable in that regard. So let's see what he says about the Healing Church.
As you know, the Healing Church is the fountainhead of blood healing. Well, I'm a simple hunter, quite unfamiliar with the ins and outs of the institution. But I have heard that the holy medium of blood healing is venerated in the main cathedral, and that counselors of the old church reside in the high stratum of the cathedral ward. If you seek blood healing, and the church is willing, you should pay them a visit.
That lore was a little more shallow. Not that there was no value there, but it is more or less what we've heard before, that the blood, the healing blood, the blood ministration, everything we're looking for leads back to the main chapel within the cathedral ward. So he more or less said, I'm a hunter for them, but I don't deal with the politics. I don't really know what's going on. So Bergenworth, oddly enough, is what he shed the most light on for us, but that's also because we hadn't yet heard much about them. So I'm going to go ahead and leave.
I bid you farewell. It has been a pleasure. May the good blood guide your way.
The good blood again. And also, note, before we even had dialogue options, he had already taught us about himself, Logarius, and that they are hunters of vile bloods. He gave us fire paper too. So fire paper is coarse paper that applies fire to weapons when rubbed. A hunter's tool found in the Healing Church workshop. So we've looked at the hunter's workshop. There's a Healing Church workshop too. Since the tragedy that struck Old Yharnam, fire has become a staple in beast hunts, as we knew from the Molotov cocktails, and is thought to be cleanse impurity. That is a little bit new. I say a little bit because it's not a stretch to gather that. Certain types of beasts have an abnormal fear of the flame, that we've heard many times. So, in other words, let's set our weapons on fire and kill beasts with them. So now we have a device to operate here. which is moving that tomb in the center and opens up to a stairwell. And where does this lead? And what's down here? Alright. Not much to say on these, but it is worth taking note and looking at the statuary. Can we tell who or what this is? No. Unique gear, but that's all I can tell. And it got quiet and dark suddenly. So, let's see. Go ahead and get those ready. Get my torch for the dark, because there's a wolf. Bloodstone shard. Probably a waste of a Molotov, because as the wolves leap towards you, just leap towards them, and they'll go past you. As difficult as the game can be, and obviously I died to the boss, I will die many times in this Lorethrough, but a lot of the enemies can be evaded by a simple move left or right. We're heading down, but wanted to check for items. Antidote. This is the first antidote we've picked up, so let's take a look. Medicinal pellets that counteract poison. Used to treat ashen blood, a new term for us. The baffling sickness that ravaged Old Yharnam long ago. Old Yharnam, as we learned from the note in the house in Central Yharnam, was abandoned by the church and left to burn. These tablets only provide short-term relief. The ashen blood ailment eventually triggered the spread of the beastly scourge. So ashen blood, baffling sickness that ravaged Old Yharnam, triggered this beastly scourge, and Old Yharnam has burnt. So who burned it? And the Healing Church abandoned them as they shut off their gates. Technically, they abandoned Central Yharnam like they did Old Yharnam, is the note we read. So another lamp. Large door. Nothing of note in here. Nothing of note over here. So just the large door, which is about as far as I'm going to go in this Lorethrough, this episode of it anyways. And then we will backtrack from here, but let's inspect this note that's posted. This town is long abandoned. Hunters not wanted here. And this is Old Yharnam. So we've made our way to Old Yharnam, which is where we will proceed next. But before we do, I want to return to the Hunter's Dream, and then return to Central Yharnam. So we've now defeated Gascoigne, which may have triggered new dialogue. So we'll talk to her last, because we have quite a few points. I want to show you storage real quick. So storage allows you to take things into inventory and place it into longer term inventory, essentially things not carried with you. While I was playing between episodes, I did actually get a few things I placed in there. You saw I got the spear. I placed that in there because I don't intend to use it. Same with the repeating pistol. But I did get a gemstone, so I'm going to take that out. And Gehrman has returned, so let's talk to him.
The moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight. If the beasts loom large and threaten to crush your spirits, seek a holy chalice, as every hunter before you has. A holy chalice will reveal the tomb of the gods, where hunters partake in communion.
So, first mention of the Holy Chalice, but may sound slightly familiar. A Holy Chalice is required to conduct a ritual on this ritual altar. There are several of them.
Most of the holy chalices lie deep within the tomb of the gods, and the few that found their way to the surface were lost again in the hands of men. But if the old hunter tales remain true, one of the holy chalices is worshipped in the valley hamlet. Yet the town is in disarray. It was burned and abandoned for fear of the scourge. Home now only to beasts. The perfect place for a hunter, wouldn't you say?
So he's clearly talking about Old Yharnam, and he's more or less trying to point us at them and saying, go kill the beasts. It's a perfect place for people like you. You want the chalice, and they worship the chalice there.
One of the holy chalices, a town of beasts.
Yep. So we did get a new workshop tool that allows blood gem fortification. Let's see if we can perform regular fortification. And I can. So this will raise the physical attack. It will also allow a second slot for blood gem fortification. Let's go ahead and do it. So that also essentially repairs the weapon, so we don't need to do that. And fortify weapons using blood gems. Blood gems imbue weapons with special characteristics. So because I've leveled this up a few times, or fortified it a few times, I can install a few blood gems. So I've got two, luckily. So this one takes physical attack up 0.7%. This one takes physical attack up 2.1%. Clearly the better of the two. So I installed that one, and now in the second slot, I will install this second one. So combined, roughly 2.8%, though stacking theoretically is more of a multiplication than adding those together. But it made my weapon stronger, as did fortifying it again. Alright, so stronger weapon. He's telling me to go to Old Yharnam, and he confirmed that the place was abandoned and left to burn because of the scourge, so as we suspected. And there are more things that we can buy in the messenger bath, because I did pick up the Hunter badge, which the Hunter badge gives us access to some of the weapons that we passed up at the beginning. So I got the Saw Cleaver, I got the Saw Spear. We turned down the Hunter Axe and Threaded Cane, so that's essentially what it allows us to pick up, as well as the Blunderbuss. And really what this badge does is allow you to, if you regret the choice you made or just want to try the other weapons, it allows you access to the other starting weapons. Typically, I wait until I can buy the items before I look at the lore, but I just don't feel like buying these right now. So let's take a look. The Hunter Axe is one of the trick weapons of the workshop, used on the hunt, typically. It's got the qualities of the axe, but offers a wider palette of attacks by transforming. It boasts a heavy blunt attack, leading to a high rally potential. Rally is when you attack after being hurt to regain your health. So this weapon, it's a hand axe that can be extended into a giant two-handed axe. No matter their past, beasts are no more than beasts. Some choose this axe to play the part of executioner. Little judgmental, but the other item is the Threaded Cane. It's a trick weapon commonly used by hunters of their duties, sufficiently deadly as a rigid bladed cane. Like I said, it's roughly just a stick you hit things with, but it also serves as a whip when its blade is split into many. So it extends out to become a whip. Concealing the weapon inside the cane and flogging the beast with the whip is partly an act of ceremony, an attempt to demonstrate to oneself that the bloodlust of the hunt will never encroach upon the soul. So a little misguided, I think, in their views of what they're doing, but they're saying that using it to flog beasts is an act of a ceremony and proving that the bloodlust of the hunt will never encroach upon their soul. Yet the very act of whipping seems to prove that it has. So I don't think there's any other items that we really need to pick up. I could pick this up. I'm not going to, because we will play kind of linearly as the game. This allows early access to a shortcut. I don't need to see the blunderbuss is hunter firearms are specially crafted. The impact of this highly effective weapon counters beast swift movements, and its widespread is nigh on guaranteed to hit the mark. It hits them, it's just not very effective at stunning them. And that's it. So let's talk to the doll and see if she has anything new to say.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire? Over time, countless hunters have visited this stream. The graves here stand in their memory. It all seems so long ago now. Over time,
So,
farewell, good
over
hunter.
time,
May you find
countless hunters have visited the stream, again confirming that endless night, endless hunt that we've discussed. Next, I want to talk to Gilbert, see if he has anything new to say, and then we will go point that lady towards Oedon Chapel, the one who needs a safe place.
You needn't concern yourself with me. I'm afraid I'm of little help now. But before I take this...
Flame sprayer. He sounds like he's in rough shape, though. As the person in the chapel said, even those inside are losing themselves, though.
I made no use of it, but perhaps you...
Oh, Gilbert.
Me was incurable, but this town gave me hope. Their strange blood bought me time. I was most fortunate, unharmed by the plague of beasts. I can even die human.
So he said he was already afflicted and this town gave him hope. Their strange blood bought him time. Don't worry about him. But he's been helpful and he's in rough shape. So let's look at the flame sprayer. It's a left-handed weapon. A special weapon used by certain members of the Healing Church. Spits searing flames by using blood-imbued quicksilver bullets as special medium. So it uses your blood bullets, your quicksilver bullets. Not the most efficient weapon by any stretch, but sometimes a sea of flame is just what the doctor ordered. Besides, the Beast of Yharnam can always use a good cleansing. So it sprays flames rather than bullets, and can be effective as all flame things can against the beasts. And the more beastly, the more flame is effective. So let's take our shortcuts here. Let's go find the dog lady, as I call her. The one who was in the house trapped by a dog. I don't really want to run past these dogs though, because eventually they'll break out of the cage. And then if we need this path, it's more difficult. Seems cruel though. Come on. There we go. Alright, so now we can talk to her.
Now what is it now? Are much better ways to pass the time. Unless you found me a nice safe place.
Well, I have. It's called Oedon Chapel.
What do you know? An outsider worth a lick of salt. Well, don't just stand there. Don't you have work to do? Go slit some throats. Get this mess done with.
Well, she is pleasant, but hopefully she'll be safe there. All right. So, I'm not backtracking through all of Yharnam, but I want to check on Eileen before we go. Eileen the Crow. Who we found up here.
What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt.
I'm not trembling. I like the claws on her hands, though. Or her fingers, whatever you call them. Alright, so she's just saying, stop hanging out here. Get moving, a hunter's gotta hunt. So, I think that does it for Central Yharnam, at least for now. We may want to check in a few times with Gilbert, with Yosefka. And then, obviously also with the people in the Hunter's Dream. And then we'll pick up the next episode at Old Yharnam, at the door that told us hunters need to stay out. So this is the last episode of Central Yharnam, except for miscellaneous kind of interstitials that we may do. And I thank you for watching, and look forward to taking on Old Yharnam and finding out what lies there. So, thank you.